The movie starts when an FBI agent teams up with an art thief to capture a more notorious art thief. This movie begins with the explanation of 3 valuable eggs which were given to Cleopatra by her husband about 2,000 years ago. Now, an Egyptian billionaire decides to gift those eggs to her daughter, and he's announced to pay $300 million to anyone who will bring those eggs to him. In the starting scenes, we can see a man who is making a copy of one of those eggs. Further, an FBI agent John can be seen in a museum in Rome with his subordinate Ravashi Das. John tells the manager that the egg kept in the museum is not safe. The manager assures him about the security of the museum. John analyzes the egg and tells everybody that's the fake one. The security team of the museum immediately closes all the exits from the museum. At that point, the second lead character, Nolan Booth, appears. Booth tries to escape the museum, but Urvashi's eyes catch him at that moment. Booth shows his skills, which are full of action, and finally manages to escape the spot. Afterward, we can see Booth enjoying himself at his farmhouse in Bali, where the FBI raids and captures Booth. That's the point where John tells Urvashi about the life of Booth. Now, Booth and the egg both are in the possession of the FBI, and Urvashi hands over the egg to John. John places that egg into a car, where again the thief can be seen replacing it with a fake one. In further scenes, Urvashi and John can be seen in a hotel in Rome, where Urvashi asks John about where he's going. John tells her that he is going to Dubai. At that point, Urvashi tells John that the egg they have is fake, and also tells him about the $8 million transferred into his account. FBI arrests John on the assumption that he sold the real egg. John is moved to a jail in Russia where he meets Booth. Booth tells John that he did not steal the egg, but he knows where another egg is. Booth tells her that the arms dealers Sato, Voce, and Valencia has the other egg, and we can find that egg along with the thief who has stolen the egg from John. Now, the only way they can have those 2 eggs and also find the thief is to escape from jail. Meanwhile, John and Booth meet with the third lead character in the movie, Bishop. She tells them that she has stolen the egg from John. John and Booth then realize that Bishop has double-checked both of them. Now they plan to escape the jail and get the other egg from Sato before Bishop finds that egg. John and Booth make a thrilling plan and manages to escape the jail, and we can see some action here too. Further scenes show a friend of John, Tambwe, who helps John and Booth in their journey to Valencia. During their flight, Booth tells John about the extraordinary security of Sato Voce, and both of them again make an amazing plan to get the egg. In Valencia, John and Booth join the party given by Sato to his billionaire friends. After reaching there, they find that Bishop is already there to get the egg from Sato. At this point, again we come to see some action when John, Booth, and Bishop fight for the egg in the room where the egg is kept. Sato finds out about them and reaches there. He immediately captures John and Booth while he spares Bishop, as she offers him the egg she has. Further scenes show John and Booth tied in the basement of a bullfight court. Sato asks Booth about the third egg, and at that point, the story takes a twisting turn. Bishop ditches Sato and takes both of the eggs from him. John and Booth manage to escape from there as well, but the moment they escape the basement, they find themselves in front of the bull. They somehow manage to escape the court after some action scenes. Now John and Booth are on a train and they argue about the whole scenario. Booth doesn't want to work with John anymore. John asks him about the location of the third egg as he wants to capture Bishop and take her behind the bars for what she has done. Finally, Booth agrees to work with John and tells him about the location of the third egg. He also tells him the story of how he found the location of the third egg with the help of his father's antique wristwatch. Now, both of them are headed to Arizona forests. They find the secret bunker where the third egg is kept with the help of the coordinates of that wristwatch. After reaching the bunker, they get to know that Bishop has followed them to the bunker. Now, while all of them are arguing about this scenario, the FBI raids the area and all of them run for their lives with the egg in their hands. They jump into a river. The egg is now in Booth's hands, and he assumes that Bishop and John are no more with him. At that moment, John appears, and so does the Bishop. Here, the biggest twist of the story comes when Booth comes to know that John and Bishop are working together, and they have used him for the eggs. John and Bishop take the third egg from Booth and leave him alone in Arizona. John and Bishop then take all 3 eggs to the Egyptian billionaire, and he gives those eggs to his daughter, whose name is Cleopatra also. Everyone is enjoying the party while Ed Sheeran is singing his song Perfect. Meanwhile, another twist moment comes and the FBI raids the spot. They arrest the billionaire and his family. John and Bishop now have $300 million, which they got from the billionaire, and they are not blamed for the theft of the eggs anymore. Scene changes and we can see John and Bishop on a yacht enjoying their lives with the money they have. Right at that moment, their old friend Booth appears and tells them he is the one who informed the FBI about the location of the eggs, and now the FBI is searching for them. He wants John and Bishop to have a deal and work with them in an even bigger heist in Paris. This scene points out that this amazing movie will have a sequel. The profiles of John, Bishop, and Booth are added to the Red Notice file by Interpol, and with this, the movie ends.